We did just get a question, Ramir. Why people always come back to watch WWE no matter what will happen?
I was hoping you'd read that. One of the great mysteries of our lifetimes.
It's it's brand identity, man, and you see that with the 50 plus. It's just it's what you're used to. You just go back to it no matter what. I take it as
Um,
like being a Buffalo Bills fan. Growing up as a Buffalo Bills fan, people they've disappointed people for 20 years. People just kept coming back. It's just part of their life.
I think there's clearly a world of people who do not live in our world of wrestling conversation and analysis, for whom it's not enough of a repellent. It's not enough. Whatever they're doing is not enough of a turnoff. And maybe, and God knows, there's people who love it for exactly what it is. There are people who kind of are engaged heavily online, who love it for exactly what it is, who will make a wrestler's likeness their profile picture and will quote tweet the latest ratings with a gif of Roman Reigns hoisting the WWE championship. You know, maybe it's important to remember too that I mean, we're like every other wrestling podcast, just two dudes in their mid 30s who have been alive for that amount of time and are old enough to remember nationally televised wrestling when it was quite a bit different than it is now. There are a lot of people who aren't old enough to remember that. And I don't want to say they don't know any better. They just don't know when it was good. But they've been educated that wrestling, or at least WWE, is something different. And that's their frame of reference. And that's, I mean, if a big part of what Vince has done is he's sort of re-educated the audience to expect things in a different way. And again, if you haven't seen wrestling that is different, if you haven't been old enough to have watched wrestling in a prior era, or if you have not been interested or you've not sought out other kinds of wrestling from other companies or other regions of the world, uh, this is the universe that you know. And in my view, it is creatively, I'm talking about the content, the world of where the characters live. It seems to be a world with limited consequence and confused morality, but that's not necessarily a prohibitive, it's not a reason to not watch for a lot of people, for approximately 2 million of them. And I think the sort of the changes that have happened to the wrestling product has turned a lot of wrestling fans to the WWE product. Have turned a lot of wrestling fans off over time, but there's enough people that are going to stick around for this, and maybe if more people will continue to turn it off, and there'll be more attrition over time. Uh, the last 5 years at least of wrestling history of viewership trends tell us that, yeah, this viewership will continue to decline, probably in a way that is a little bit more negative than the trends of television overall. But there's enough people who are not discerning a problem, or at least not enough of a problem to turn it off. And I think if you talk to a lot of people who currently watch random people who currently watch W product in whatever media form, you'll probably get a lot of people who tell you that they're invested in certain characters. They're big Roman Reigns fans, or they're big Big E fans, or they're big Sasha Banks fans. And that's who and what they're invested in.
Great profit.
And that's enough for them.
Great Great profit. Mediocre success still means profit. Good afternoon, everyone. Still means